here at Occupy Cleveland. You guys been going on about a month strong now.
Just about, yeah. Thursday will mark our 4-week anniversary.
And how are things going? It's getting a little bit colder. Is it getting a little bit rougher out here?
It's actually going pretty good. We got our permits extended for this spot right here for another 2 weeks. And then we also have permits until the end of the month for across the street at Tom Johnson Park. We have had a lot of people not be spending the night because it is getting colder, but we do have a strong core group that has been braving it every night. And yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. You know, it's showing that we're not going to leave regardless of the cold or anything. So. And
what's your main motivation of being here?
Well, a lot of things. The fact that my mom's a registered nurse and can barely afford her car payments, you know, it's shit like that. The ridiculous amounts of money we spend on war. The fact that I've been jobless and homeless for the past 7 months, and I'm 24 years old. You know, what am I going to do in 10 years from now when the economy is even worse? So I'm fighting for change, and I'm fighting for jobs, and I'm doing this so my younger brother, who's 6 years old right now, doesn't have to face these same problems that I've been facing for the past few months.
Now, how does this end? Where do you guys? When do you guys declare victory?
First, we got to be heard, and that's our main thing. Is we're not being heard yet. You know, the mayor of Cleveland won't even talk to us. He sends his chief advisor to talk to us, and we want to be heard. And this is a national problem, but it's also a local problem. I read on CNN.com 2 weeks ago that Cleveland is number 3 on worst hurt city from the recession, and that's a big issue. You know, it's like they could have bailed out the flats instead of bailing out these giant fucking banks. Sorry for my language.
That's all right.
But yeah, I think it changes at first we start getting heard, and then we enforce new policies, and that's what we're doing. We're going to be changing the policies in this country and enforcing regulation on these giant corporations that are getting away with murder, literally.
So, what's your name? You're a Clevelander, I presume?
I'm a Clevelander. I'm Courtney.
And what brings you out to support Occupy Cleveland?
I've been out here for about 3 weeks now, and I'm out here to support everyone because they are running for a good cause, I believe. I'm here because the government, I believe in my eyes, is corrupt, and I'm just looking for some change to go on here with the government.
One of the things that, like, how does this end? Like, when do you guys declare victory and say?
I guess it ends when we see change and what we're looking for change in. I don't know if we're gonna get it, but we're gonna try.
Now, I'm assuming that you probably vote.
Yes, I did.
Did you vote for Obama last election?
Yes, I did.
Do you think that his promises have gone largely unfulfilled?
So far, I don't see any changes that he was talking about making, but it takes longer than 4 years to make those changes, I believe, so I don't know, I think I did the right thing by voting for him, but I think he could be doing a lot more to help us out, and so far I haven't heard him say anything about any of the occupiers out here. I've been asking people, like, what does Obama say about this? And everybody's like, actually, you know, we don't know what he says. I haven't heard it.
He did issue a statement, and he said, you know, he understands the frustration and,
but he's not,
you know, the political speak. So.
But you know, I do believe that it takes longer than 4 years to fix what everybody else's mistakes have been. So I'm not sure if I'm going to vote for him again this year or the next election, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Have you been spending the night?
Yes, I have. Every night I'm out here.
And is it, I mean, it's gotten colder.
It's definitely gotten
how
colder,
you holding up?
But, you know, we need as much support as we can get. So if that means spending a couple cold nights outside, that's what I'm going to do.
So we're here with John. He's part of the Occupy Cleveland movement. Have you been here from day one?
No, this is day 12 for me, I believe. Days are kind of blending in together, and got here the Wednesday before last. Spent just an incredible experience. I don't even know how to describe a lot of what's going on, but I feel like I'm being changed as a person.
What's your main motivation of showing your support?
My main motivation was my first day down here. I just saw an immense diversity of people working together and people respecting one another. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's opposition, obviously, but I just wanted to be a part of something that is working towards positive change, not only for Cleveland and the United States, but the entire world, because the world needs change and we've needed it for a very long time.
The organizational structure of like getting consensus and stuff like that, what have you learned from that?
Wow, what have I learned from the organizational process? Still needs a lot of work.
Have people taken up leadership roles where they can kind of maybe sway people that, like, is there a group of leaders, would you say, or is it?
To me, it does seem like there are a group of leaders, but we had a conversation, I can't remember exactly who I was speaking with, but right now we have a handful of people who are being leaders, and there are a bunch of people who are not exactly in agreement with having that group of leaders. And then a woman made a comment that everybody here needs to be a leader, and that can't be more correct, can it? We all need to be leaders.
Now, there's meetings every day.
Yes.
And what do you guys discuss? We
discuss proposals, we discuss legalities, we discuss ideas. We just try to keep everybody on the same page.
Are any of the people that have been arrested, like, have they, like, are like they a star? Are they something that like people are like looked up upon because of their?
Well, I can't speak for everybody else, but that night in this park,
was that your first night here?
No, that was my third night. I got here on a Wednesday, and that Friday when all that happened, that was the most moving, the most powerful experience of my entire life. And I struggle to put it into words, but once all this sinks in.
Do you think that the police involvement actually probably helped your cause?
I think that when those 11 people got arrested, I think that spooked a lot of people, and that's why we don't have more people. Like, for what's going on in the world, I think this square should be completely full of people 24 hours a day.
Well, the cold weather probably isn't helping either.
It's not, but I had a gentleman, his name was Paulie. I'd never met him before. This was not last night, the night before last. And he was talking about the Revolutionary War. And he said, you know, in the spring, summer and fall, I'm sorry, George Washington and his men were fighting the Revolutionary War. They were falling from bullets and bayonet wounds and dying from battle scars. And they were dying in battle. And then in the wintertime, the war pretty much stopped. And they camped out in the elements. Now, back in the Revolutionary War, they didn't have torpedo heaters and space blankets and thermal underwear. And then they were dying from the elements. But they continued to fight the revolution, and they achieved their goal.
So, I've asked this from everybody else that I've interviewed. When would you decide, okay, we've got our point across, now we get to go home? What's the end game here?
That's an $18 billion question. When do we go home? I say when we see the changes that we need to see. And there are so many issues that need to be changed. I think this occupation could last 10 years if necessary. But we need more solidarity.
So who are you here with today?
I'm here with Occupy Cleveland. Today is the teach-in event, teach-in school breakout. We've got events planned all day from right now to 9, and I think at 12 o'clock it kicks off with Kathy Smith. She's giving a lecture or talk on her personal interpretation of everything, quantum mechanics, and how it relates to social change. current world, and especially Occupy Wall Street, the Occupy movement. We've encouraged students to leave class at 1 and come down here. We try to make this go as global as possible as viral. We try to make it go viral, but I don't think we planned far enough ahead. So what I'm taking this for is it's like an experiment for maybe later down the line.
Was today picked because of what happened in Oakland? The general strike thing?
I'm not really sure how we came to today as the breakout event. You'd have to talk to Darian on that. He was the main guy behind this.
How involved have you been over here?
Well, whenever I'm not working or at school, I'm pretty much here. So pretty heavily involved. I mean, I've been here since day 1. The day 1, I kind of heard about it a couple hours beforehand, and then I came down in March. It was incredible. We had like a few hundred people. You know, it felt great. And I've been here since then. I've seen a lot of people leave that, you know, we're here every night and the sense disappeared. But I will be here as long as we're here. I will not leave. I will not back down. And I continue to support this.
What will it take for the Occupy movement to cease? Like, when do you guys declare victory? When is it?
You know, I don't know if they would do declare victories. I think social progress, economic progress, political progress, cultural progress is constant. It's a constant fight. I don't think we can pack up our bags once say there's a Robin Hood tax of like 90% on billionaires. That's not gonna, you know, it's just not one demand. I think this is a blanket umbrella movement that has so much as a part of it that I think it's almost impossible to just disband.
How have you been personally affected by the economic crisis?
Personally affected? I can't say that it's hit me too much personally. My family made it lucked out because we've managed to find a house for a lot cheaper than it probably would be. But I would say that it's very hard for me. It was actually very hard for me to find a job. I'm 19 now. I had one this summer. Before then, I put in plenty of applications and I couldn't find anything. In addition to that, school loans, it's going to be really hard for me to pay for school. I guess my Pell Grant was just denied for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But that's going to hit me hard. And, I mean, I think everyone's hit by the recession because all businesses have scaled back. So you might not think it's hit you directly, but when you look at the fact that overall economic activity is lower, that it has hit you.